What's going on, guys? It's your boy Bleaa. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I got you guys a Newcastle tips video on how to be better and how to overall perform the best you possibly can with Newcastle. This is my first time ever doing a tips type of video, so please don't make fun of me, and I hope these tips actually help. It's really going to be hard to explain these type of things and to also just show you guys some good useful tips that you guys might need when you play Newcastle. Because it took me a little while to make a video type like this, and finally I could provide you guys the video that you guys all have been asking for a few months now. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys do, leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into the first tip. Tip number one is learn how to take high ground with Newcastle's alt. Alting on top of enemies on high ground, whether it's a building, a mountain, or even like a flat surface that you could get angles to alt on high ground to make your enemies panic, is always a good way to force fights and win into your advantage. There's been multiple times on stream where I alted on top of high location places where enemies were hiding or were sitting at, and I forced them to either get off of high ground because the knockback on the Newcastle's alt pushes people off, or just to put pressure and just give you like the first gun advantage into the fight. There's a little bit of risk as doing this because sometimes I do end up dying, but it's for the better. The higher the risk, the higher reward at the end of the day. And you're Newcastle, so if you want to get up in fights, be aggressive, get up in there and try to get the first shot every single time you alt onto high ground or onto enemies. I'm telling you, you guys will be a better Newcastle at the end of the day at learning how to take high ground with Newcastle's alt. Tip number two is see people through smoke with Newcastle's alt. Now, a lot of people don't know about this tip or know about this trick, but when you alt on anywhere, it doesn't even matter. It could be on a rock, it could be on the floor, it could be on the building, it doesn't matter. But if there's smoke in front of you, and if you alt, the people's outline, the enemy's outline is highlighted like they got scanned by a bloodhound or a seer attack, and then you can see them for a split second through the smoke. A lot of people don't know that, but it's really good if you guys are willing to try to be more aggressive, or like try to know where they're at, specifically in smoke. If you guys don't have a scan legend like Seer, Bloodhound, or even Crypto, for example, you can use Newcastle's alt. You can pick them out where they at in the smoke, and you guys can push, or you guys could just wait until the smoke is over and have a general idea on where they are at. But in this clip, you guys can see that I alted and I see which way they're running, so they went from left to right, and I end up getting a kill and helping out with the second kill as well. So there's a tip on how to use Newcastle's alt through smoke. Tip number three is repositioning with alt in a fair 3v3. Now, this tip is a little bit weird. It's going to be more type of tips like this, but it's just like different similar situations. So just bear with me on this tip. But in this clip, you guys can see that in a fair 3v3, we were both out in the open, both teams. And I decided to reposition to the left side, because if we just ran up straight head on head, it wouldn't be beneficial for me or my teammates in that scenario. So what I did, instantly thought of, all right, if I walk up with my tactical shield, alt to the left, get a different off angle, and it puts pressure onto the enemies. They don't know what necessary to do, because now they have to worry about a Newcastle behind a ultimate shield. They also have to worry about my two teammates. What if they're pushing behind my shield as well, or they're going up straight head on with them. So it gives them like a pure panic on what to do in that scenario. And if you are facing low skill enemies, they will really get punished because they're not really like experienced in that type of scenario. So it's really good just to alt and be aggressive, get repositioned, different angles. All you guys can see in this clip that I alted to the left, like I said, and I just instantly just fried one, fried two, and then fried the other. And it definitely gave my teammates an opportunity to while it's the distraction, the front line main man, to go up, and also just in case if I did get down, they could assist with the other kills or other damage that I did to the opponents as well. So that's how you reposition with the alt. Just be aggressive, get up in them cheeks, man. Tip number four is learn how to play Newcastle's tactical ability. Now, there's really no secret sauce on how to play him. There's a couple times where you could move around and as well as play his tactical at the same time, trying to finesse a 1v2, 1v3. It's just very hard to do on controller. I'm not gonna lie, if you don't have a scuff or you don't play claw. Just me personally though, I don't use none of that. So I feel like for Newcastle tactical ability specifically, it is better to play on MNK than it is on controller, because you could be more precise, more accurate where you want your tactical shield to go and which direction you want it to face. But in this scenario, I just only had it in one place and I just finessed around it. Just know that when you are playing his tactical shield, it's like a Gibby bubble, kind of in a way, but it's really not. It's a one-way wall. It has curves on both sides of the tactical shield, and it's very, very hard to dodge bullets as it is for Gibby with his bubble. Not gonna lie, there's been multiple times where I'm getting shot through my tack when my tack breaks, because you know, you could destroy the tack with bullets and it doesn't last like full HP or has no HP. You know, it's just infinite HP like a Gibby bubble is. So just know you are playing one of the biggest hitbox in the games, like characters in the games like Newcastle, so you're gonna get shot around corners quite frequently than you are with a bubble. But in this scenario, I just had it in one place. I finessed around. It's kind of tricky to give this tip. It's kind of like, I don't really have good tactical ability tips. Trying your best ability just to get really good at just finessing in 1v3 situations. Don't panic, don't crouch spam, just move around, you know, just give the feel of the tactical ability. And also, like in this scenario, I could have moved my tactical shield and put it in a corner and just played the corner really well, but I decided just to leave the tactical ability alone and just win the 1v3 with that. So yeah, this tip was kind of scuffed, I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully it did kind of help you guys. Tip number 5 is learn how to combo with your tactical ability and your ultimate ability. You guys don't always have to use your tactical ability and your ultimate ability in 2 different situations or scenarios. In this case, I used both of my abilities to my full advantage while, you know, putting a pressure onto the enemies. Also, keep in mind that you don't always have to use your tactical ability very up close, like 5-10 meters away. I was roughly around 20-25 meters away and just playing my tactical, you know, I was finessing behind it, trying to put pressure onto the enemies. Now, in this situation, my teammates end up getting knocked. Once my teammate ends up getting knocked, I realized that I had to, you know, use the reposition play. I repositioned behind the enemies after I got the knock, trade off knocks. It buys me time to, you know, to force another 1v1 or even be in a 1v2 situation at times. And it gives enough time for my teammates to, you know, fully reset, heal up, or, you know, just to res and then help me out after they res. This is a really good tactic to use in another 3v3 situation. In my opinion, I feel like after you knock somebody from far distance, you should automatically already be like thinking about ulting or where to ult at to apply more pressure. It helps you, it helps your teammates out in the situation. Land with your ult, your ultimate takes forever to be destroyed, so it's basically just a free rampart wall just surrounded you. It's always good to just, you know, just keep applying pressure. Be aggressive with Newcastle. I said this earlier, I'll say it again, just be aggressive. It's the best way to play Newcastle. Playing passive is not the way. Be aggressive. It's very punishable at times, but once you perfect it, master it, there's more benefits than cons in this situation. Tip number 6 is to ult onto enemies if you know that they're one shot or just, you know, by themselves. Like I said, my 2 other tips that I gave out with repositioning and ult plays is, you know, it's kind of similar. Like the one that we did was a fair 3v3 one. Another one was where comboing with my tactical ability and also this ulting because I know that there's a guy on the enemy team downed. Now this one is just ulting when someone that you know is one shot, or they're just by themselves that you did not hit them at all, so you just want to force them to you know, be in a 1v1 situation or like fall back to their team. Now in this scenario, you guys can see that I made this Pathfinder one shot, and I know that he was going to be sitting behind the rock because if he grapples out, I was going to fry him and shoot him. So my first initial thought, as always, is be aggressive with Newcastle. So I end up pulling out my ulted right beside him, just repositioned to the left a little bit, and you know, just got a different angle on him. And as soon as I ulted on him, he didn't expect it at all. He tried to get behind the other side of the rock, and I end up getting a free knock, and then I end up winning a 2v2. Like I said a few tips ago, that these, like, you know, alt reposition tips are gonna be kind of similar but different scenarios and different situations. So I just wanted you guys to like literally just, you know, take notes and see what I'm doing in different scenarios and situations, because you could be aggressive any time you can and possibly can that the game gives you. All right, enough with the alt and reposition tips. This second to last tip number 7, is how to bait res with Newcastle. Now to do this trick, or to do this to make you a better Newcastle player, obviously you guys are gonna have to need a teammate, because if you guys don't know, Newcastle's passive ability is when you are resing a knockdown teammate, you can move them around corners, and it's arguably probably one of the best passives in the game. And you have a knockdown shield, whatever your color your knockdown shield is, whether it's gray, blue, purple, or golden. You know, you could have it displayed up onto your teammates while, you know, you're moving on the ground. Now to bait res, you could cancel it by me personally is my R3 button, but I'm pretty sure for everyone else it's whatever button is binded. It's for the crouch button, I believe. I might be wrong, so don't, you know, quote me on that. But in this clip, you guys can see that my teammate was knocked on their knees. I was forced into the 1v2 situation. I grabbed my teammate to, you know, give me extra cover. It's definitely a good way to give you cover, definitely to move around the enemy. You move pretty quickly, and you know you can finesse around the passive ability and take it to your full advantage. So in this situation, I grabbed my teammate that was on her knees. I moved back into the corner just to block shots. The enemy thought I was gonna stick it, but I ended up canceling it. A free 100 before I even got shot or something like that, and I ended up winning the 1v2. This is a really good tactic. Like I said, if you guys are in 1v2 situations, 1v3s is kind of hard. I recommend you guys to do it while you're in a 1v1 situation. You guys can do it in 1v2, but it's gonna be harder. In 1v3 situations is gonna be the hardest, of course, because you're gonna have 3 people shooting at your knockdown shield and 3 people from different directions trying to you know what I'm saying, shoot you and kill you while you're resing. The last tip for Newcastle is tip number 8, how to block off doorways with Newcastle's ult. This is a thing where I don't see no Newcastle player do at all. It's very disappointing, honestly, and a disgrace on being a Newcastle. I don't see no other fellow Newcastle mains, you know, doing this, because this is probably one of the most OP things about Newcastle, believe it or not. You guys know that Newcastle's ult takes years to destroy, unless, you know, obviously the number 1 counter to Newcastle is Mad Maggie. But if you're not facing a Mad Maggie, do this, please. If you guys are one shot, if you guys need to reset, if you guys need to get a better position and buy time, prolong the fight, please ult off doorways if you're getting chased, or an entrance where you know the enemy can enter from and they have to enter somewhere else, or you know takes them a long time to destroy the Newcastle's ult, and then you guys could eventually, you know, just drop on you know, the players, or to destroy the castle wall that you made before to block off the doorway, like I did in this clip. Just to, you know, just give you various different ways to just, you know, win the fight and get your full advantage in it. Please start doing this. Please start blocking off doorways and just, you know, take full advantage of this guy's ult, because his ult is probably one of the most broken things about him, believe it or not. It just takes so much damage to break, and it's very upsetting that I don't see nobody doing this at all. It will definitely help you guys out in fights. It'll definitely help out from the third parties at times, believe it or not. There's been multiple times where I was on KC in a little room in bunker, and I ulted off the doorway, and me and my teammates survived for that long because there was just third parties and fourth parties and fifth parties pulling up. So please, to start blocking off doorways. I promise you guys, it's probably the most OP thing about him. All right, guys, well, those are the 8 tips on how to become a better Newcastle, and just, you know, have a better gist on what you're getting yourself into if you guys are looking to play Newcastle for the long run, or just to main him, or just, you know, just basically just get a little bit better than, you know, you are now with him. I do apologize. Like I said, I don't know if these tips are even good enough. I hope they are. Just cut me some slack, you know. Just give me a break a little bit. This is my first ever tips video, you know, that I'm providing ever on the channel on any game that I make content for. So I am trying my best to at least make sense, to provide you guys at least decent amount of tips that you guys can improve on. I do appreciate all the love and support over on the YouTube side of things. I love every single one of you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It means an absolute world to me if you guys do. I do love you guys. Follow me on Twitch and TikTok. I do live stream basically every single day over there, and I do appreciate you guys once again for all the love. It's been your boy Bleaa, and I'll catch y'all in the next video, man. Hey.